everybody, we're back. So it's been about, I don't know, an hour, maybe?
Less.
So,
Oh, close.
in the meantime, we baked our cookies, have them cooling, and
We figured out comments.
So if you have comments,
we will answer.
We'll answer. Couple things I wanted to mention that I noticed from my first part 1 with the peanut butter filling. I was having a little difficulty having it come together, and I was glad that Chris didn't have the camera on my face while I was stirring because I was a little frustrated. Because I made the mistake of adding all the powdered sugar at one time, so then it was really thick. Normally it doesn't do that, and so that's my fault. I would have normally added it in 2 increments and really mixed it in first. I don't really know why I added it all at one time, but so I did get it to come together. You can see it's a smoother consistency, and there's only a little bit in here because I have it in a pastry bag. But I wanted to mention, if you do make this filling, make sure you add the powdered sugar in 2 increments, really stirring after each one so that it's mixed in really well. I apologize about that. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay.
And then also I wanted to mention that with the ganache, what I ended up doing so that it will cool down faster and be more spreadable, I ended up putting it in a shallow container, as you can see, so that it got to be a thicker consistency so that it could spread. Otherwise, if we just left it in the bowl, it would take quite a bit of time. And to be honest, I'm a little hungry and I'm looking forward to lunch, and I just kind of wanted to get the cookies finished. And the third thing I wanted to mention is something that Chris and I noticed while we had this last batch of cookies in the oven. I started to notice a smell of burnt. And we noticed that there was something on the bottom of the pan. And so always kind of keep an eye out for that your pans at the bottom are clean before you put them back in the oven, because then whatever's on the bottom may start to burn. So these cookies here, to me, they don't smell burnt. Chris says they do a little.
I have a much bigger nose.
But we're going to keep this batch for us, and these over here we'll give to somebody else, give them to people because they don't have the burnt smell. So those are just a couple things that I've noticed as a home baker that you can do, and I guarantee Martha Stewart and Ina Garden have done as well. And so we're going to start to fill the cookies. You'll notice I have 2 pastry bags here. I just have some clear plastic ones that are disposable. Main reason is I didn't feel like having to wash the ones. If you don't have pastry bags, you can use plastic, just resealable bags if you want, and you can put your ingredients in and then always like turn it to close it tight. You're always like trying to squeeze it down to the bottom and squeeze it and turn it at the top so it closes off, and then snip the corner. Or you don't even need a pastry bag, and you can do it with offset spatulas, which is what I'm going to show you.
What is that spatula?
An offset spatula, sorry.
Which
are these.
Oh, those.
And these are mini offset spatulas. Because these are cookies, it's a lot easier to use a small mini offset spatula because you have more control. And so before we start filling, and I did one just ahead of time, this is what we're going for, and this will be a rich cookie. This is going to be...
Hold it steady for one moment.
Ooh.
There we go.
You can see our ganache and our peanut butter filling with our brownie cookies. And so as you see on our cookie or cooling racks, we have them all separated out in even rows, because when you're doing any kind of sandwich cookie, you want to make sure you have your buddy next to them. So we're going to flip all these over and have them ready to go. Always having your buddy next to each other. Okay, so if we're using a spatula, you're going to use the back of it, not the front. You don't use it that way. You always are using the bottom part of the spatula. And you would just take, you know, a good mound. And so we're just going to place it on our cookie. Doesn't have to be perfect. So you see, just however much you want. Really, you don't want to overfill because then it's just going to ooze out all over the place. And then we'll get some peanut butter. And we're just going to hold it in our hand is easier. I'd say that's pretty good. You don't want to go all the way to the edge necessarily, because when you sandwich them together, you'll give it a good little push, not real hard, but just gentle enough so that they come together. And that's your sandwich cookie. Now, if you are using the pastry bag, we're just going to take one, hold it in our hand, and we're going to just squeeze out some filling.
Jen Vensky really wants one of those cookies.
I hope they're as good as we think they are. And so
they're not spoken for yet, Jen, so I suppose if you drive out south.
Yeah, if you want to drive out south, I'd be more than happy to put some in a box for you, because we certainly can't eat them all. And then our ganache.
Oh, you can.
I could, but I don't want to. And again, you see, I'm not putting a ton because we don't want to overwhelm the cookie. And we don't want it to ooze out all over the place. And so here we go. Gently squeeze them together. See, and some is coming out, but that's okay. And there you go. So I don't have to go through all these. I suppose I can do one more with the pastry bag to show you. And again, always, you know, you can do, if you wanted to, do all your peanut butter. You know, get your peanut butter row done. Using a pastry bag does help.
Jen said she will take us up on that.
Oh, sweet.
Well, Jen, we're here. You know how to contact us. We'll be home all day.
You don't go anywhere.
No, I'll leave them in the street for you.
And my pastry bag's a little slippery, so it's causing me not to have as much control. So this is always easy if you have the pastry bag and you can kind of just go along.
Mikey says, why don't you try to make smiley face cookies?
I want to, and I think I will.
Yay! Anyone who doesn't know what smiley face cookies are, you might have seen me post pictures before. Mikey brought some back from Blue Island, Iverson's Bakery, all the way last week from Blue Island, Illinois. Drove them here special for us, and they were delicious.
Thank you, Mikey.
What is the smiley face cookie besides the obviously titled smiley face?
A smiley face cookie is a sugar cookie, a thick sugar cookie that has a, the smiley face cookie has the yellow glaze on top, and it's a thick yellow sugary glaze. And then they use a chocolate frosting to make the smiley face on them. I've always wanted to make them, so maybe I'll try that. So you can see how fast it can go using the pastry bag. And again, if you have just, we don't have like resealable bags. Oh no, we do. Let me get one really fast so I can show you.
What do I do now?
Now you can look at the cookies and see how amazing they are.
Can I eat one? I'm going to eat one. Oh no. Oh yes. I was supposed to eat the other ones, but I'm going to eat this one, I guess.
Okay.
That's a lot of stuff.
He's a little afraid.
I'm going to make a mess. Go ahead.
Okay. So what we can do is we're going to just, obviously if you had it in the bowl, this is what you would do. But if you just have a regular resealable bag, and I'm just going to squeeze some of this in here. But you would take your bag, I just kind of want to show you, and you're going to put it on an angle because what you're trying to do is push all your filling to the corner. You know, so you would push it down to the corner, and then you would snip this with scissors, and then at the top is where you would twist, and then you would hold it in your hand, holding that twist tight so that it doesn't ooze. Chris tried the cookie. I'm intrigued. Chris isn't a big sweet person, so he doesn't always necessarily eat things I make. What do you think?
It's good. It's hard to get things in focus sometimes on this camera because there's no autofocus. I mean, manual focus. Mm-hmm. But it was first moment. There. Yeah. No, well. It's good.
How does it taste?
It's
now,
good.
do you get the taste of the brownie? Like
yes.
a soft, chewy brownie?
Yes.
And then the ganache filling with the peanut butter is a good mix?
It is.
Yeah. You like it?
I just ate it. So now I'm going to eat some more.
All right, everybody. So that's it. That's our brownie cookie. Brownie cookie with peanut butter and ganache filling sandwich cookies. If you make them, please share with me. I would love to see them. I was pretty excited to learn that somebody saw my video last week and then shared it with one of their friends, and then that person ended up making the cookies, and it just really touches my heart. I can't tell you how much it means to me, like, that you guys watch these videos, and if you make stuff, it's really great. And so I appreciate it so much, and I hope you're learning something. I hope you're enjoying them, I'll keep doing them. As long as you guys keep watching them, I'll keep doing them. And as long as Chris doesn't mind being my camera person. So thank you and have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.